Hello, everyone. It's Michael Jaco with Unleashing Intuition Secrets. I have Lisa Schermerhorn and Honey Golden with us again. We talk about quantum healing, and these women are incredibly advanced in this idea, this concept, and actually performing quantum healing through meditation and other practices. So we're going to talk deeply about that today. Ladies, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having us. Yeah.
Good to see you again. And, Lisa, we were just talking about how you're probably the tannest you've been in your whole life. And Mexico could do that for you. Yeah.
This has been an amazing experiment in quantum. When
Mhm.
you're, excuse me, I'm in a city, so if you hear motorcycles and dogs, I apologize. We had fireworks going off last night, getting ready for Easter. They set up these like hanging bodies with fireworks attached to them, and each one represents getting rid of something. And
Oh,
one was Trump's tariffs, and they have them all labeled. And those went off around midnight last night, so that was fun. It sounded like an explosion in my house, so I'm staying in.
how about
But
you, honey?
yeah.
How are things going?
Oh, everything's good. It's been it snowed all day yesterday, so that was interesting. I've been in the quantum a lot and kind of exploring it over the last several days, so that's been interesting. Like been in the universe at night and knowing that I'm up there, and then coming back in and kind of reliving it in the morning. So that's been interesting, but. Yeah, we're in the midst of a big change right now.
Yeah, we're kind of talking about that too, and how a lot of people resist that change. And I'm sure the quantum healing can help people overcome a lot of that. What are your thoughts on that, ladies?
Well, I
I
definitely
don't
and
think. Oh, go ahead.
oh, so one of the things that I found in my own personal life was I had to get out of my old routine. And
Hmm.
so in order to do what I needed to do, I had to surrender and say yes to a lot of things that took me out of my comfort zone. And one of them was starting out with a week-long trip to Puerto Vallarta became 3 months in Mexico that I just kept saying yes to and had no idea when I was coming back. I never knew sometimes week to week where I was staying, and everything showed up to a point where someone we were staying with was leaving, and we were 30 minutes from town and didn't have access to a car. They had, and then all of a sudden we get a call, oh, we found someone who's going to loan you a car. And then we're getting ready to give the car back. And we were planning to go away for a 4-day weekend. And suddenly I get a call, oh, the people who you were gonna give the car back to, they don't need it for another 5 days, so keep it. It was like everything I thought of kept happening to a point where this is funny. I was in a restroom, and there was only one stall and no toilet paper that was working. And so I turned around to leave because I didn't have anything on me. And there's a woman standing there with two children with a roll of toilet paper in her hand. Like, I was like, I have the toilet paper fairy now. So the manifestations have been insane. I started documenting them all because there were just too many of them.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
Honey, how
love it.
about you?
Well, I feel like we're starting to realize that we're a soul in a body versus a body with a soul. And we're starting to see that as above, so below really actually is what's going on. And that's helping people with the quantum because the
Mm.
quantum is where we originate. And I think people are starting to see that. And a lot of the resistance is leaving. Like a lot of people are passing right now. We're kind of at the end of the big solar push to get through. And I use this a lot through the birth canal. So it's time to pop out and to be through that portal. And it's a big thing what's going on right now. And the energies are really huge. And I could feel them this morning, like the angst coming up. So there's another big wave of that happening.
Definitely. So, so happy Easter, everybody that's watching, and
Yes.
we're definitely having a happy Easter. It's a beautiful day here in Florida. Little snow up there where you're at, honey, and sunny down there, and where Lisa's going and she's going to where it's wintry again.
Yep.
You thought you could stay down there long enough to be be over, right?
It'll be close. I still get snow at my house in Vermont till mid-May, and then it's
Oh
like a
wow.
switch, and it goes from 30s and 40s to 80 like overnight. It's the weirdest thing.
Hmm. Yeah, that's amazing. But who knows? You're a quantum, generator yourself. All of us are, and that's something I mean, I've noticed I can bring or take away, and all kind of weather if I want to. So if you want to, maybe you can have some good weather there. I think it's
Oh,
possible.
I'm going to work it.
All right. So your live sessions, you have 2 live sessions for healing each month at 12 and 4. This coming Wednesday, April 23rd. You're going to have a 12 and 4 EST quantum healing session. So tell us a little bit about that.
So Lisa goes and she gets everybody grounded, which is really beautiful. And then I take everybody up into the Akashic records. So we have, if you can think of the sea and then think of the universe as a similar to the sea, because usually when you're talking about consciousness, it comes through as being represented by water. So consciousness up there has a library. And that library is where we're going to break contracts, to deal with things you no longer want to have, and also to bring through the lesson. Like what is the point of the lesson that you're learning with whatever is going on with you? Like it could be a bum knee or it could be a bad relationship. It doesn't really matter. So that's what we're doing. And we're working with the mind, the body, the soul, and the inner child. And then,
Yeah, we're also bringing in the ancestors as well. Honey does an exercise where we're pulling the thread through the generations to clear that, because we can, it's epigenetics where we can inherit ancestral trauma. So we want to clear the contracts around that, and that we're breaking that so that we no longer pass that down to our descendants. So we're clearing for our children and great grandchildren and so on. So it's a very powerful experience. And the other thing is, a lot of people still have leftover programming from being in the third dimension, having to deal with this same thing over and over again, and it's hard to believe. Like I know I go into fear sometimes, like if I don't have a return ticket, how am I going to get home? Or and I just keep saying yes to things, and then things keep showing up. And so if you can get rid of those blocks of the belief systems. And I was talking to someone this morning about abundance, and she said she's also a traveler. She's been traveling the world, and she was in India, and she said she was praying for abundance, and all of a sudden she got a 6-month stay here in Mexico. So and it's staying for free. So she's staying, and so abundance doesn't always come in physical dollars. It can come in other ways with people and circumstances and opportunities. So that's what we also want to help people in their lives as well.
Yeah, that's fantastic. 'Cause, my wife Tracy worked with you and another woman to clear her ancestral, DNA, so forth. And boy, it was amazing. For like a month, she had issues she was getting rid of. Even her daughter and her granddaughters went through the same process that she was going through. So it reverberated, through all of them. So
Yeah.
these things, you have to clear a lot of this stuff before you can move to greater, higher consciousness. Tell us how that works for people, and that was stunning for me to see that. And I've worked with you, Lisa, on other occasions, looking at the blood and moving blood cells around and making them full of oxygen again. You've done, meditations on that, and I saw that, happen very quickly. So this is real. It's observable science. I've seen it. So how can we like do a meditation and go into this quantum field reality and have these amazing things happen?
Well, I'll let you talk about that, honey, if you want to. Because I just kind of show up and then I just see these beings around me, and I laugh because I'm like, I don't feel like I'm really doing anything. Although honey has said she's
You
seen me
are.
split. No, but I've split into many different versions of myself. So if we have 50 people on a call, I'm with all 50 people. And I'm
Wow.
working on, I split, my soul splits into many different parts. Yeah, I just got confirmation of that. Yeah.
Holding the space. That's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
fractalize yourself like that is that's definitely
Yeah.
talented.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not 100% because we don't know what someone's soul contract is, if they're ready to let go, what their, lesson is in it. So, if someone may come in with an idea of what a healing should look like, and it may turn out to be more of a soul healing or a physical healing, and their intention may be, for something else. So it may be layers that has to be healed before they get to that end result.
Yeah. And we have layers in the universe too. So if you think about it, there's soul families and they have generations of family, and then you have your families here. It is the exact same thing. And I've noticed that generations in my soul group, like if they're a little younger, they'll experience the same thing, but it will come a couple of weeks after maybe an older soul will experience it. And that same thing happens here in the generations.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, it rolls downhill, and I don't want to say what it is, but it does roll downhill, and you let go in stages. And if we all went at once, think about how crazy that would be. Like it would be too much.
Yeah, it's like whatever you need, that's what's going to show. That's what's going to be revealed to you. It's like when I've done the past life clearing. It's basically that life that needs to be clears, and then I see a boop, 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 this clearing throughout everything in my life, and stuff comes to me, abilities come to me because I've cleared something that's been blocked, and it's been blocked for hundreds of years through a trauma event in a past life. So these are some of the things I know that you can do. I've looked at my Akashic records on many occasions, and I was like, whoa. It's like I did that. I did that. Whoa, I need to clear that up. That's like you ladies are talking about. Lisa holds a space so that you can do that in in uh, in peace. Because I know that when I looked at it, I went there by myself. It was like, I'll do that myself. And I was like, whoa, I could have had a little help there. But, that's the beauty of doing these meditations, quantum meditations. I know with both of you, because both of you understand this energy on that level and can help people in a large group too. Because everyone's going to be different. Everyone's going to need certain things. And the person that's doing it doesn't know exactly what they need until they get there. All of us are like that. Tell us how that works. It's monumental. I think doing this kind of work.
They make an agreement with themselves to let go of what they want to let go of at the beginning. So that's really important. And then all of their people are with them. So their ancestors, their angels, their guides, their oversoul, everybody gets called in to be a part of their healing. So that they get so much help, and we're just guiding.
Right. And the other part of it is when you talk about healing your ancestors, because, we're doing multiple things at once here. A lot of people think, okay, I'm releasing ancestral trauma, but there's also gifts that come down generationally. Like, music, you'll have musical family or an artistic family, or you'll see, people in a lineage that all have the same gift and talent. You're removing blocks, so a lot of those talents can come in through your lineage as well and allow that to expand. So it's working on so many dimensions because you've got the ancestral, plus you might be bringing in some parallel or past life, whatever you want to believe around that, some of those skill sets as well. So it's multiple. It's multiple things. It's not just one, and you need time to integrate these things. So someone's like, well, I don't feel any different right after. Well, it might be a week or a month before those things really start to, take place. Some people feel differences right away. There's also the mental, emotional component to your physical being. So if you have certain belief systems that are holding you back and causing physical issues, if you can clear the mental, emotional part of it that's connected to it, you can clear up a lot of your physical issues.
Very nice. And I know, Lisa, that when we worked together, you had you have Jesus come through. You're Jewish, of course.
Yeah.
Jesus is Jewish too, but he comes he comes through. A lot of people are like, he's Christian. No, that came later actually.
Well, he had a
Uh,
Jewish mother too.
exactly. And Mary Mag, everyone surrounding him, of course. So you you channel him, and I've had past life, with him as a Roman um, officer, and I was there during the crucifixion and everything. So I have distinct memories of him. And when he came through and he was working with you, that I feel that healing was on a level where back during the time frame he was teaching me and other people how to heal, it really came through you, and it was amazing because through lifetime after lifetime, and of course I'm like the warrior dude now. I do have healing abilities, but not on that level. So it's great to be able to connect with someone like you, both of you ladies, that can channel that and tap into that. And it's not just the healing aspect. Tell us about the other aspects that come through.
Oh.
There's so many.
Well,
Where do
here's
I begin?
here's here's an interesting thing because a big part of the work that I do is around forgiveness. And you want to talk about there's a veil between people and whether they're alive or not. When people are alive, I can call their energy in, or if they've passed on, I can call their energy in. So when there was a forgiveness event that happened between someone and their father, actual tears appeared on their desk, but the person wasn't there and he didn't create those tears. So the tears came across the veil.
Mm,
So, the veil is getting thinner and thinner, and we're able to connect to people and heal, even though they're still here or may not be here. That's why the ancestral healings are working so well, along with many other things. But some information will just come. I don't know why I'm doing things, or I'll get guided to do a healing. I'll sit and talk to someone. And I'm sure, Honey does the same thing. And Honey has this ability to read people, and people can ask questions of her. And she has tremendous insight. I don't know if you want to talk more about that, Honey.
What I do is just talk to my soul, and their soul talks to my soul. So it's like I talk to my higher self and I get answers. And I can get a lot of answers about what's going on with them, but also about future, which I also say take with a grain of salt because we are shifting timelines all the time at this point. So it may or may not look that way, but eventually I think you will get to this point. But you can see people's gifts, what they are. And I'm actually teaching people how to see their own gifts. You can eventually see your own soul because we look, as a soul, you look humanoid, most of us. in the astral plane. Um, and, all of us have arms and legs and heads and torsos up there, and we're different colors, but we're made of basically consciousness. We're not made of anything. We don't have a body. We're not running around with a body until we come into a learning game. So, Earth is a learning game, and it has been the hardest learning game in this universe. So, I'm really grateful that it's evolving. And I'm really grateful that the Christ consciousness is coming in, and it's not just coming into like one person, it's coming into everybody as their crystalline body is formed, which everybody's got a crystalline body at this point. Some of the organ systems are still changing, but it's time to let go of the stuff that doesn't resonate anymore for you.
Yeah. So someone in the chat is talking about how they, uh, they have a family that has done bad, and they're kind of feel that there's attachment there, but they're adopted. So is there still, even though there is not, I would say, DNA blood that's connected, do you still have family? If you grew up in a family, let's say in this current reality, because we've been talking a little bit about past lives and so forth, but in the current reality, do things shift and draw you or trap you or so forth with your current family that you can break free from?
Yeah, you can definitely break those contracts because you contracted to end up with them. So you can break those contracts with them too.
Yeah, because you've got a soul family. The soul family is the part that's the connection. It's not the biological part. So
Right.
there's karma that was brought in to them, whether or not they are biological or not. And so it's important to clear that as well. They made a contract for them to be together and come into the world, come into the earth in that way.
Hmm.
And ask what they learned from it.
Yeah.
They saw the negative. So what did that teach them? And be grateful for that part and let go of the rest.
Yeah. So learning to forgive and let go, it's teaching through a lot of different, uh, I would say, religions and so forth. But it's also on a spiritual level as well, and that's what both of you amazing teachers are helping people connect with. Now, sometimes the break happens just through the meditation, just the meditation itself. You don't even have to think it. You don't have to apply yourself in any way. The meditation, the quantum meditation, is just going in and doing what needs to be taken care of. Tell us about that, and that's the incredible beauty of doing your meditation, I believe, because it's basically whatever is a problem, you might not be aware of it. You might not even be aware of it after it's taken care of, but it is. Tell us that, and maybe give us some examples of people that have experienced some of that.
Go ahead, Lisa.
Well, in I had a case where I was doing forgiveness work. There's something called Ho'oponopono.
Mm-hmm.
And now I include that in almost every healing that I do, is making sure that people ask for forgiveness, because that clears. And there's a lot of resistance when it comes to forgiveness, because people are like, well, that person did that to me. Why am I saying I'm sorry? But it's at a soul contract because we had both agreed to it. And I have had circumstances where I had people in my life who I hadn't spoken to for years and did this, the forgiveness and releasing of the cords that were attached, and let go and forgave. And then I'd get a phone call out of nowhere. Gee, I noticed things have changed between us. We haven't talked in 14 years. How can we figure out a way to, I want you back in my life. And even if it's not someone that I don't necessarily want to have in my life again, I'm clear. The karma is gone. I'm at peace. They're at peace. And that's gone. So I can still recognize them in my life and have them at a certain level. I don't have to be best friends with them, but now I can be at peace. And that has resolved a huge lesson for me,
Hmm.
for both of us.
Yeah, and I love the Ho'oponopono. It's I'm sorry, forgive me, I love you. No, I'm sorry, forgive me. Yeah, I love you,
I
and
love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So you're basically taking responsibility for everything that comes in your life, and I thought that was a great point you brought up. You may not, because a lot of people are like, well, I didn't do that. It's like, well, there's a soul contract where both of you are teaching each other, so you forgive that. And I did that cord cutting. I had Archangel Michael come in and like cut cords. I didn't know what some of them were, but some of them I did. I was like, cut that cord, please. It's like, and then it really did. It would lighten the load, and just like you're talking about, some of those people seemed out of nowhere. They just kind of popped back up, and it's like it's amazing how that works. What do you think, honey?
I love to cut cords. So I will cut cords every day if I need to. And I also like to put a mirror up if somebody keeps
Hmm.
trying to reattach. So there will be people that, like, maybe they've been siphoning energy from you for a really long time, and you really want to stop that behavior. So you just put up a mirror where they were attaching the cord, and then the cord just goes right back to them, and they
Hmm.
don't attach anymore. And we have to remember that we're not the only ones that, like, allowing the cord. The cords also get attached when somebody thinks about it. Thoughts are things. So you're creating an attachment, and quantum attachment is one of the things that makes us miserable in life, just in general, because we're attached to what other people think. We're
Right.
attached to what we want other people to do. So there's all this attachment. We're attached to what we want to see in the world, and we don't let go and just let things happen and go with the flow of it. So then it takes longer because we're attached. We're the anchor.
Right. And
So,
and the other part of that is giving your power away. A lot of
mhm,
people don't realize how much of their own power they give away to authority figures. And an exercise I'll do with someone is I have them imagine, let's say, a parent that may have been abusive, and in order to make things okay, they were giving their power away. Well, how much of your power does your father have of yours? And they'll be like 50%, and they passed away, or their mother, like that person doesn't even exist anymore on this plane, but they're still giving their power away. So I have people call it back so they feel more whole.
mhm,
And that's really important because we can walk around as only a fraction of ourselves unless we call that power back. So it's the cutting of the cords, calling our power back, and then becoming whole. And we can also lose, in the shamanic sense, they talk about soul retrieval, where parts, fractals of ourselves leave. And honey does that work as well, where you're calling back the parts due to trauma have left, and we're like a 100-piece puzzle with 10 pieces missing. So when you call those pieces back and your power back, you then start to integrate and become whole.
mhm. And you also want to patch up the parts of your energy field that have little holes in it, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
And empaths are notorious for that. So if you're an empath, you really need to patch up your holes, because that's how the entities get in there.
Mhm.
So if you learn to patch up, and that's all about boundaries. You have to learn to set serious boundaries with people.
So one of the questions in the chat is, can you help people who are caught in a negative loop, but or don't see it or won't help? So how would you? It's like
Not
how would
unless
you?
they agree to have help. You
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
heal
good point.
anyone that doesn't want. So, one thing
Yeah,
that, if you come back to Jesus, he healed the people that were ready. He didn't heal the people that weren't ready. So he knew who was ready and who wasn't, and that's who got healed because they were willing to heal. And if you're, a lot of people ask, well, can I heal my sister who's got this problem? Can I direct the energy to them? And you're like, no, because you're controlling them if you're doing that. And why, you know, we have to realize that they have their own journey, even if it's painful to watch. It's their journey and not ours. And we have to allow them that.
There was a metaphor that I use a lot when you think about, trying to heal someone. It's like trying to convince someone to change their political views, right?
Mhm.
It's like what's the probability that I'm going to change your mind on where you sit politically? It's the same thing with trying to heal someone. You have to allow someone to go through their process.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that as well. Doing some of this work myself. Someone can say they want it, and you help them. You may clear them of their issues, but then they invite that same problem back, and they keep repeating that because on some level they feel they get some power or something from that. Maybe it's a dark entity that comes in and inhabits them. You can push it. They can say, I don't want that. You push it. But really, they have to make that decision that they don't want it and they never want it to come back. Otherwise, it's going to continue to come back. So
Mhm.
how can you help people like? I mean, really, you can't. It's a free will thing. But how can you maybe help people overcome some of that? Strengthen their willpower or something.
Love them, hold space for them, you know,
Yeah. Hmm.
and allow them to do whatever their process is without interfering all the time. Because we want to carry it for them, we want to help them, we want to show them the way. And it's just like talking to somebody who's unaware and unawake. We can't do that if they're not in that stage yet.
But planting seeds and asking questions.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
Where they have to really start to think, because, I love when people walk around as reporters and we'll ask people, well, why do you believe that? And then they'll say, they don't even know. And they get angry and they'll storm off.
And they run away.
Some of those are probably NPCs anyway, but a
Mhm.
lot of them have been programmed through, and MK Ultra and different things. And breaking that programming can be really difficult, and they have to be willing to, because also, what's the gain in it? Because if you change and wake up, you may lose your family, you may lose your friends. What's the cost? The immediate cost that people aren't willing to take the risk of losing their friends and worrying about what other people think.
Yeah. And what do we want from them, too? Like,
Right.
if they're not willing to heal, why do we want them to heal as fast? Maybe they're still in the process of something. But if they heal, then they get to be with us and we get to be on an even level. And maybe we want that and we're trying to pull that forward faster than they're ready for, too. So it just
Right.
depends.
One of the big
Yeah.
questions that I get from people a lot is when their children, or someone who's really close, or their significant other, or a parent, someone that they're quite close to, isn't awake, and there's a worry about ascension and, and all of that. And I think that's a big motivator for people to want, out of panic, to wake other people up
Mhm.
and when they're not ready.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
takes a lot of courage to be able to stand back and just hold space. And what I always say is, I'm here for you when you need me. And other than that, because I remember when someone years ago made a statement about 9/11, and I told them to go F off because I wasn't ready. My
Yeah.
ex-husband worked down there. He was there the first time they tried to bomb the tower. So I
Hmm.
wasn't ready to hear that because I was too invested in the story. I didn't want to know.
No. Yeah. And it's like everybody does things in stages.
Hmm.
So we have to be respectful of whatever stage they're in and just let
Right.
them experience it. It's just like when a teenager starts doing the same stupid things that you did as a teenager, and you're like, no, can't you just learn from my mistake and not do it? But in order for them to really learn it, they have to do it, unfortunately.
Absolutely. So here's the here's the site, balancingbodyandsoul.com. and quantum healing, 2 live sessions for healing each month. That's an incredible price. How do you keep the price so low? That's amazing.
Because
Well,
it's a group.
It's a
because
group.
it's a group and we want to make it affordable for people,
Yeah.
because I still do individual sessions. Honey doesn't do that anymore, but she has amazing programs that do similar work. But it's really a matter of, you're getting a lot of value, and we wanted to make this as accessible it was to as many people as possible.
Very nice. Very nice. So here's a little meat. You can go to the website, and the description box has this, and I'll put it in the chat as well. But you can go to the site and get all this information on both these amazing women. Tell us a little bit about your backgrounds. Lisa, I know we worked together for quite a bit in Every Belief is a Lie book, best-selling book, and I still have to commit to your next book, so we're going to get together later, I
Both
promise.
of you do. I need to do the interviews with both
Yeah.
of you.
Absolutely. Okay. I don't feel as bad. Honey, get with it.
I know. I need to do it too. We'll get there.
So
Yeah,
what's
definitely. I'm committed.
interesting,
We're going to do it.
yeah. So what's interesting with this is that my daughter inspired me as I started doing the quantum healing, and my daughter asked me, "What is quantum, Mom?" And then I was like, "Do I have to go into quantum physics?" And then I thought, there's so many people with different perspectives that utilize the quantum field in different ways. And how cool is it to have these different stories from different perspectives? So maybe one person will connect to someone. Like quantum is music, quantum is art, quantum is meditation, quantum is positive mindset. There's so many aspects to it. So that's my next project, that I'm herding cats.
Mm-hmm.
But my
Yeah.
background primarily is energy medicine, hypnosis, neurolinguistic programming, and the quantum healing. There's a lot of things, the ancestral healing as well. It's a lot of things, plus things that I've added. Studied shamanism for many years, so it's been fun. It's been an incredible journey, and uh, I know Honey has some really incredible gifts herself.
Yeah, it's just been really interesting. I don't know how, I would say it's probably been 10 years ago I started talking to my higher self. And I was always intuitive before that, but actually letting your soul lead you through the right, the best way for you is huge. And that's something that has really helped me in my life. And I've done things like, Reiki and healing people with my hands, and zone healing, which is a beautiful chiropractic. It's like a spin-off of chiropractic,
Hmm.
and doing that with energy and wrapping people in certain kind of energy and doing all kinds of things, but also finding their blocks. So I can go into somebody's childhood and find what is causing the problem, what's the root cause of that problem. And once you figure out what it is and you figure out what the truth about it is, then it just releases. It's like releasing, it's like getting your neck popped or getting your back popped, and releasing that. And then all of a sudden it's not there anymore. And you're not weird about money, or you're not caught up in relationships that fail anymore. And I did a lot of that with what was called the Death of Ego program that I was doing.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's
one of the things that people will say is, I see the world from a different perspective now after the healing. So once that is released, it's like putting a new pair of glasses on, and all of a sudden there's a clarity that wasn't there before.
Mhm. Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So, any other things you want to add to the show before we sign off? Last words for uh, action, getting people involved, and wanting to sign up. I think everybody should be signing up. I think I'm going to sign up.
We'd love
This
to
is-
have you.
Yeah, we'd love to have you.
after I do the my session with Lisa and about the book. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of, it's a way to self-help that is beyond what a lot of practitioners are doing, but you're doing it for yourself. Like you're the one giving permission. So it's a self-healing technique and you're being guided through it, but we're trying to encompass all the aspects of you in the process. And it's a really beautiful thing. And a lot of it came through our own souls. You know, Lisa and I tapped in and said, okay, we need to add this in and this in. And we've added more as we've gone on too.
And it's a monthly thing. So we have you focus on one thing and you really work on healing that. You can come to both sessions. We tried to spread them out for people around the world because we have people that join us from Australia and Sweden and all over. So we tried to make it attainable for them. But you can come to both if you want. You never want to over process. So you want to really uh, take a look at what happened in that session and see if you can handle a second session. We have the recordings for people so they can go back and access those and watch those. They're just as powerful, the recording. And we have some also some recordings for people to help them with meditations as well. And we have a community on Signal where people support each other there. So that's been really wonderful.
Yeah, I just signed up. It was very quick, very easy. So I'll see you on Wednesday.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I love this type of work. So I'm sometimes it takes a few times for people to jump on. I'm one of those people. So, but I'll be there. I mean, I've worked
Awesome.
with Lisa before. I can vouch for you. And honey, you're obviously very skilled. I mean, I just saw all your paperwork. I mean, you guys are locked in. So it'll be fun. And it's always fun to do it with a group. Tell us why sometimes it's better to do it in a group rather than individually.
Because all their power is in there too.
Very
They're
good.
adding in all their own power. Yep.
Yeah.
Nice. And of course, you can have one-on-ones with Lisa. She does. I saw you do advanced past life regression and all kind of crazy stuff. So you can also also schedule so you also schedule other one-on-one work with Lisa if you want. And I like I've talked about. I've done quantum healing with Lisa, but now she's advanced it to group, and I think it's fantastic. So we'll see a great response, I think, for you guys this Wednesday and going forward.
Yeah, it's going to be really fun. And we're excited you're going to be there.
Yeah. And thank you so much for having time, taking time on Easter to do this, because I know it's a holiday. So I appreciate it.
You want to say something, Critchy?
I'm not if you're live.
Oh, you can do it. Come on.
Hey everyone, happy Easter.
Hi.
Happy
Yes,
Easter.
very
Happy
talented,
Easter.
fearless, love sharing women. And that's why forgiveness works and all of this, what you guys do is it's about healing thyself. You guys have so many techniques about letting people release the trauma that's created, traumatizing them. So the word trauma ties, untying the ties in forgiveness.
Love it.
Because they're traumatized. They're tied to you. Untie them.
Yeah.
So beautiful. Anyway, happy Easter. Yeah, I love you guys.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter. Love you too. And she's the most amazing wordsmith. You just sit and talk to her and she starts to break words down.
I get this every day. I love it.
I'm like, what? I never would have thought of that. Oh my God, where'd that come from?
Oh yeah.
Name from Jesus.
I'm starting to get a little bit myself every now and then. And she's like, "You're learning. Good job, grasshopper." She doesn't say it like that, but
No, you
that's in
guys,
my mind.
it comes from Jesus. It comes from Jesus. He was our friend, you guys. We weren't told to be quiet. We're not being quiet as adults. We don't have to. He's our friend. A lot of us hear him still. So talk about him more. It's his day.
It's his resurrection day. That's it. Very good.
And
All right. All right, ladies. Hey, everybody loves you in the chat. So thanks a lot for coming on again. And we'll see you guys next time. Lots of love out there.
All right. Lots of love
Thank
to you.
you.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.